So on the issue of liability, there'll be corporate liability as well as personal liability. In terms of corporate liability, the company, organization, or entity will be required to compensate anyone who has suffered damage, material damage, physical damage, any damage from the misuse of their data. Compensation to anyone who has suffered distress from the misuse or mishandling of their data. But also, that company, entity, or organization could be fined up to 4% of its annual gross worldwide turnover based on the tax, if you like, documents of the preceding accounting year. In terms of personal liability, any director, manager, secretary, or similar officer, or any person purporting to act in such a capacity, either who would have expressly or impliedly consent, or with their connivance, or acquiescence, or neglect, or any form of recklessness, will be equally liable and will also face the same degree of penalty as the corporate entity. And in terms of penalties, so for example, failure to register with the Office of the Information Commissioner would mean that the entity, organization, or company will be fined up to $1 million. Continuing to process personal information about individuals without registration, as in after June, it means that the company, entity, or organization could be fined up to $2 million. And the individual, whom I've mentioned before, director, manager, secretary, or a similar officer, or anyone purporting to act in this capacity, with consent, connivance, neglect, etc., up to 6 months imprisonment. Failure to comply with the data protection standards, the company, again, could be fined up to $2 million, or a person between 2 years and 7 years imprisonment, etc. And as you can see there are other, in terms of penalties, financial and custodial prison sentences, which are there on the Act. We are on hand to support you to achieve compliance. We are happy to support you, obviously, by having an initial discussion outside of this forum where we can take you through this process and kickstart your journey towards achieving compliance so that you can achieve and benefit from the opportunities which are presented, and also to avoid the risks which are there to ensure and to enforce compliance of this legislation.